Hello, one and all. Welcome to Joseph Allen Music. Joseph Allen here to teach you guys another guitar lesson through our 6-week series course on whether you're a beginner, intermediate player, or more advanced, and to have something for you here. As we're getting on to this, I want to as I need to stay in the microphone, get a little excited, I want to kind of discuss a little bit the next lesson. It has been a good week. I hope it has been for y'all too. I got to go to the National BMA meeting, and it was fun just getting to see some people, meet some people, and then getting to hear. My favorite part was hearing all the stories about the missionaries and stuff. When you have that many missionaries come in and stuff, it's just, that hits home for me, because I was a missionary and still am, just in America, a missionary right now, right? It's not where you go that makes you a missionary, but it's who you serve and the mission you're on that makes you a missionary, and that's a cool thing. So if everybody did that, we wouldn't need the title missionary, would we? But I got to do that and then go to Waxahachie or Waxahachie, however y'all want to pronounce that, particularly where you're from, potato. And then I got to go straight to church, and then so it was like a 6-hour ordeal drive for me, and so there and back. So it was a lot, but it was refreshing at the same time. So today, the next lesson, if you have already done so, you need to make sure you grab my free copy of my ebook, and you can do that by clicking on the link in the comments below this video. If you haven't done that, it's awesome. It's fun. It's got some great stuff. It's got like 49 lessons in it, and it's completely free. All you gotta do is click below. And what I kind of want to talk about in week 5 is I actually got some questions, and I wanted to kind of respond and hit on some of those because people asked me and they were curious. The comment was like, hey, I play piano and I'm doing well on that, but and I'm doing guitar, but I haven't quite learned how the two maybe like connect, because when you play piano, it's just laid out, like your scales, you just go up the scale with the white notes, even the blacks in between, it just goes completely in order. In guitar, it jumps around a whole lot. It just kind of jumps and moves, and I've never quite learned how to just see the guitar diagram just laid out. And it's like, can you kind of help me? How do you go about seeing that? And I was like, well, to be honest, there's not. It eventually clicks in, and there's a whole course I could do on this. Probably need to, and I will eventually. But like what it gets into is it just pretty much. Guitar feels like you've got your piano keys and you throw it out on the table, and just take all the piano keys, throw them out on the table, and that's pretty much what playing guitar can feel like a lot of times. But there is like an order to things. There is a grid, and once you find it and you hone into it, it's all right. And so to kind of like help with that grid a little bit, today we're going to be talking about bar chords, right? The dreaded bar chord. Oh my. You just feel like, you're getting on there and you're just... Yes, you absolutely hate the bar chord, right? It's just absolutely horrible. You feel like you're about to just, die. And so, but I want to show you that bar chords aren't as hard as you think they are. And you're like, there's no stinking way, Joe. And there's also alternatives to bar chords as well that we're going to be covering today. So... And I'm going to dive into it a little bit as it gets on the lesson, because showing the grid is more for an intermediate player, and so, but it also helps you guys understand what you're doing and why you're doing as well, even if you're a beginner. So I'm going to start slow and I'm going to build up into that. But we're going to learn today bar chords and how to see guitar more as a grid. That it actually is laid out very similar to a piano in its own way, and you can use it just the same. So. Enough jawing, enough talking, and strap up and put your boots on. Let's ride. Here we go. So, what we're going to look at today is an exercise that to kind of just get your fingers warmed up, get them loose, and it is great for a bar chord. And all we're going to do, because bar chords, right, we talk about, you may not know what a bar chord is, and that's completely okay. What is a bar chord? A bar chord is literally where we play like a lot of shapes normal, just your normal chords. But then we get like to a bar chord, and we're literally going to have to lay our finger completely across. As I zoom in a little bit here, we're laying our finger completely across, and it presses down on all the strings, and we're going to play a chord. And so the first example of this, I think, is the dreaded F chord, right? Why, right? And a great way to practice these chords as we get warmed up for them. Let's teach you some warm-ups. And truthfully, beginners, advanced, doesn't matter who you are, this little exercise drill is going to help you. I've got 5 exercises that I like to do that work really well for me. So with enough talking, let's do this. We're going to lay our first finger across the strings, and we don't have to press down on all of them. That's great. That's the best thing, is we do not have to press down on all the strings. I keep getting in front of the microphone. We don't have to press down on all the strings. And so what we're going to look at doing is literally taking our bar finger, our first finger, and we're going to press down on the top string, the first fret, the 6th string, the E string, the low E, and you're just going to push down, right? Then you're going to make your way down to the A string, the 5th string, and you're going to try to press down with your bar finger just on that one note. We're just doing one note at a time. You don't have to bar the whole thing. That can be really hard. So like I said, you're barring just one string at a time. So we start on the top string on the low E string, on the 6th string. Then you make your way down doing one at a time. You're just trying to get a sound. I'm not worried. When I make this sound, I'm not even playing. I'm not playing the other strings. I'm concerned just about getting sound off that one note I'm playing. That's all you're looking for. Pressing with your bar finger, getting that one note. Don't worry about all the others. And so I'm going to press that down. And then I'm going to go down again to the D string, the 4th string, on the 1st fret, bar my finger. My left hand's going to stay right where it is. It's not moving. And I'm going to get a sound out of that one. I'm going to go down and get the same out of the G string, the same out of the B, and the same out of the high E, the 1st string. So you're going to go down like this. Remember, I might be moving around because of the camera, but you need to stay in the center of the sound hole. Okay? Nice. Now, a lot of times what people do is, going into my left hand here, a lot of times people like try to play the bar chord like straight. You have your finger perfectly flat on the fretboard, and that's, you can, but it's not gonna, you're gonna start getting into some buzzing issues when you do that. So I kind of like, instead of laying it perfectly flat, I kind of angle my finger just a little bit. And so if you see in the camera right here, yeah, right, you can see that damage right there. It's got a lot more marks from the strings there, but if you go on this side, it's not there. Why? Because I'm angling my finger just a little bit. I'm not leaving it perfectly flush on those strings. I'm slightly angling it just a little bit to get a little more pressure on this side of my finger. And that's going to help to play those bar chords just a little bit better. So you don't want it dead center. You want it just slightly on the angle. So when I play that back down, I'm angling it. It's more on this other side of my finger. It's more angled over there. And it's not perfectly flat. So it's like you lay it down and you kind of just, angle your finger a little bit over. Angle it over just a little bit. Get as close as you can to that fret. We don't want any space, because the further away you go, the harder it is to play, more buzzing, and your tone's going to get off. So play too close to the nut, and you're still going to buzz, but you want to be just right. And that's going to help get a fuller sound, so angling your finger just a little bit. And don't be alarmed by those marks and stuff. Calluses build up, and you get where you just don't even feel anything at all. So, all right. And I haven't played bar chords in a while. If I play a lot of bar chords all the time, then it doesn't even leave marks on my skin. So let's do that exercise. We're just going down. Do it with me on that first fret. We're just wanting a bar. So angle a little bit. One string. Don't worry about trying to get sound out of all 6 strings. Just that one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Nice. One more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you can, and you get to the point where you can sustain all the sound out of them, do that. But if you can't, just doing one at a time and focusing on that one string will be good, because you're beginning to teach your hand what a bar chord feels like. All right, then we're going to go up to the 2nd fret, so just slide up a fret and do the same thing. 3, 4. Oh, I'm so sorry. When we hit 1, yeah, we want to start at the top, and we're going to go down the 1st fret. We're going to go up on the 1st fret, back down on the 2nd fret. So start on the high E on the 2nd fret. Live stream, right? Start on the high E, and we're going to make our way back down. 3, 4. Right? Now we're going to slide up to the 3rd fret. 3, 4. Now we're going to slide up to the 4th fret. 3, 4. Is that right? 4? Yeah. My bad. Get my mind in the game. I'm a little tired. Slide up to the 5th fret. 3, 4. Go down with it. And slide up to the 6th fret, and we're going to go down. Very nice. Start at the bottom, 1st fret. Ready? All the way to the top. You got this. Come on. Shake it off. You got to loosen up your hand, shake it out. Just keep it low. Do that technique we talked about, just dangling your arm down. Don't be flicking your arm around like just a dying tuna or something. Just gently off to the side. Wiggle it around, and just gently, it's just hanging there. It's just really suave. And let's go back. You might have to rub your finger a little bit, kind of get those grooves back out of there your strings might have made. And ready. 3, 4. 1st fret. Slide up to the 2nd fret, and we're going to walk back down the strings. Up to the 3rd. Up to the 4th. Up to the 5th. Up to the 6th. Walking back down. Perfect. Remember, if you can sustain all those notes, do that. But if you can only do one, that's okay. You're just trying to get your hand to get used to the idea. That's what we're working on with some bar chords. Now, These exercises are best done in increments of days, but since it's a live stream video and we're meeting 1 day a week, hey, let's keep going with this. You might want to rest your hand a little bit and take this 1 day at a time to get the full extent. If you practice each of these 5 exercises through a whole course of a week, it's going to be much, much more effective. That's kind of the purpose behind it. So we're going to take the dreaded F chord. All right, don't be scared. Don't worry about it. We're going to learn how to play the F chord. I think we talked about that in the previous lesson, so I'm not going to cover how to play an F chord. If you want to watch, I think it was the last video. Yes, it was exactly the last video. So I'm not going to teach the F chord if we played that in the last lesson. So if you want to go watch that, go do that, and it'll be just fine. So we're going to get back to that bar F chord, the bar chord. And a great alternative, if you don't like that, we talked about that too, playing the smaller one, right? The smaller one. Look back in the last lesson if you want to know how to play that F specifically. But a great way to, it adds a little color, but it's a little different. But if you can't even bar, your bottom 2 fingers over here, what's great is just to play this, the E string open. So when I play, instead of, if I can see a little bit, instead of barring, I'm just going to put my finger on the 1st fret of the B string and leave, I can't really see that with the camera, wow, and leave that high E open, just open right there. I'm not barring it, but leaving it open. I can play that F chord, and it creates this, I guess that would be a, yeah, it's an F, E, F, yeah, F major 7, which you got to be very specific when you start playing with people when you do that. But you actually, if you're kind of by yourself or you're coordinating with some people, you can do that F chord. I've seen students do that a lot. They just get that F chord and they can start to play songs with an F chord in it relatively pretty quick. And that's the same thing as this F chord, just leaving the bottom open. F major 7. Great way. I wish I knew that when I was younger, because all I had was this, and it took me for a while to figure that out because I don't learn stuff very quickly. So let's get back to this exercise with the F chord, the bar chord, right? So what we're going to look here is it's the same drill. We're just going to be working down the strings. Same thing how we did in this one, and we worked our way down. Except we're going to be playing the chord. We're going to play the shape. So the F chord, we're going to go. Focusing on one string at a time. And then we're going to go back, down. And then it's going to speed up. And if you can hold it down, that's awesome. You'll start to feel a little pain in there if you're not used to playing some bar chords. Burn is totally normal. It goes away, I promise you, it really does. I never thought it would go away, and it actually does. You hang in there and keep on going, keep on trucking. So let's look at this. Worry about one note at a time, not worry about all the other ones, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. Going back down, I guess back up, you would say. Faster. That's a little too fast for you. That's totally okay. Get it smooth and slow. If that's your fastest, that's okay. You might have to kind of, you might have to piddle a little bit to find out to get it to press. And that's totally normal. If you're doing that, that's okay. That's normal. Everybody does that. You're just beginning to teach your hand where it has to be pressed. Like, where does it have to? Okay, it has to be laid there. Next string down. Okay, where does it make a sound? Right there. And you're going to be teaching your hand and your mind. It's going to get to the point where you're not even going to think about it. You're going to be just like doing chords, and then you're going to be doing bar chords. And then you're not even going to be worried about, okay, my hand, it's going to go on autopilot, and it's going to be amazing. So don't even sweat that. That's a great little drill. A third drill that I'm trying to think, and you can do this with all the bar chords. If you've learned the B flat bar chord, you can do that too. It's like, well, what is a B flat bar chord? It's really like an A chord that we've learned. Most times we play it with our first, second, and third finger, like we normally do, except if you play an A chord and start with your second, third, and fourth finger, your pinky, and play that, then what you're going to do is you're going to slide up one fret, and you're going to bar the first fret, and you're going to play 5 strings down, and that's a B flat. And you can do the same thing with that chord. It completely works, and this is a great little, yeah, same thing. So we will take this chord, and I'm gonna what I want to take, because it teaches a new shape in mind. Day 3 might be taking the B flat chord and then we're gonna go and we're going to get but I'm gonna go back to the F chord, and you might do the same thing with the B flat. Take all the bar chords, matter of fact, B flat, more of the B minor bar chord. You can take the E flat bar chord. There's tons of positions out there. Practice all of them, not just 1 or 2, but get the idea in all of them, and it's going to work really well. Now, what I want to talk about is kind of the next step once you start adding bar chords. And you can take one day to add a new bar chord, get your hand to learn a new shape, and then the next day come in, it's like, what am I going to do? Well, we're going to play an F chord, and we're going to try to strum it all the way down, getting that full sound. This could take several days, if not a lot longer. And if you struggle with that and you're having trouble to get all the strings to ring, or 1 or 5 or 6, wherever you are with it, try this. When you play the F chord, at first, maybe you just play the top 3. Okay, you've got a solid sound there. If you don't, maybe you got 1 or something, kind of adjust and try to get 3 strings to play solid, starting from the top. Then I might work my way down, and I might play the next 3. But I'm trying to get 3 solid sounds. Then I might move down 1 more set of strings, and I might go, and if I have a blowout, I'll kind of adjust a little bit. And I'm trying to do 3 solid sounds, and then I'll work down a little bit. If I have a little blowout, adjust. And maybe you start with 2. And move your way up to 3, and then move your way up to 4. And then maybe you move all the way down to strumming all 6. But what you do is you teach your hand to begin to take pieces of the bar chord. So when you play a song, and man, I might have 3 strings. I might have the top 3. But that's enough to play the song. Maybe I play the bottom 3. Maybe I play the top 4. Maybe I play the D, the G, and the B. Those 3. Maybe I play the last 3. But if I'm taking pieces, I don't have to worry. If I'm playing just the top string where I bar, and the rest of my fingers are playing all these over here, I don't have to worry about barring those high 2 strings. I can just focus on the top, so I literally just have to kind of focus more of my pressure on the top string. And down here might be muted. But this top one's good. Maybe I can play sections of the bar chord. Then it's gonna, I can still play the songs I like with an F chord, because F chords can show up a whole lot. That's a great way to learn techniques with bar chords, just playing sections. Tons of songs do that. Professionals do that all the time. That's why you get those rock riffs with power chords, when you do that. Right? People make millions off of just playing 3 notes at a time. It's not a cheat sheet. You're not an inferior player. You're just doing a different style. It's totally cool. Take advantage of it. So if I do that, if I've kind of gone through that next exercise, when I play, strumming down all the strings, and then I just walk down like we've been doing, and then I walk back up. And then I do the same thing again, but maybe instead of doing this, I then double the speed. And I'm playing each note twice. And I might not be able to, you're just practicing to get that first chord going. And then you're worried about whoops. It happens. Live music. Maybe you can keep the sound completely sustained. Can you do that? You want to make your hand get some cramps if you're not used to it? Great little exercise, and mine's getting a little tight too. I mean, if you hold that long enough, you're gonna feel it, but it's a good thing. You want to feel it. You eventually won't feel any burn at all. And you can take that exercise and do the same thing with all the other bar chords, shapes that you can learn and find. There's tons out there that you can grab and learn. One that I'm trying to think. Now, how long have I been here? 33. Okay, cool. Now, as we're getting closer to wrapping up, I want to kind of set in the final stage with, and hey, a great tip, if the acoustic guitar is a little hard, doing them on I guess you could do it on a Spanish guitar. The necks are a little bit bigger, but it's easier on your fingers. So maybe you're someone just starting out. Do you have a Spanish guitar? The nylon strings, those are great. Great to learn. Many people call them classical guitars. There's a lot of names for them. It just depends where you are in the world. But if you have an electric guitar, that's what I did when I started. I played my bar chords on an electric guitar because it's a lot easier action on the neck, and the bar chords are like 10 times easier. I wouldn't say 10 times, but they're like way easier on an electric guitar than they are on an acoustic guitar. In my opinion, the electric, that's the easiest neck to play bar chords on. And I did that because I just wasn't really good at them at all. And it helped me not to feel just like a complete and total loser when I was trying to play a bar chord. I was not good at all, y'all. I was terrible. I was probably the one who sunk the most at trying to play a bar chord in the history of the world. And so, but I get it, and kept on pressing on, and they come with time. But yeah, grab an electric guitar and help you encourage yourself a little bit. They're a little easier to play on. Maybe a friend's got one you could borrow or something, And go to pawn shops. You can get an electric guitar for really cheap at pawn shops. Pawn shops are where guitars go to die. So go and get a cheap guitar at a pawn shop. I'm telling you, pawn shops will save your life. I have stories, man, I could tell you even with gigs when something would break or something. Pawn shops, they can be a lifesaver for anyone in our band out there. Anyone that plays with us in ministry and stuff, y'all know what I'm talking about. They're laughing. I don't have time to share that in this lesson. Yes, we love pawn shops, don't we, everybody? Oh, yeah. Our crew loves pawn shops, especially in Jacksonville. Okay. Texas, not Florida. Let's look at how to connect to see that question that I got asked, to answer that question that I got asked. I don't see the order of notes, because on a piano it's laid out, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F. It just goes in the order of the scale, right? If you know that, right? Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Just the whole musical scale that we do. It's just in order. I just know where it's laid out. I know where it is. The guitar just doesn't feel like that. And it can feel like I talked in the beginning, just taking all the keys and throwing them on a table from a piano, and they're all mixed up everywhere. It's like that's what the guitar feels like. But there is some grids, and there is some ways that can help. I won't discuss all of them, but one way dealing with bar chords in particular where it helps to kind of see it more like a piano to answer some of those questions that y'all have. Because it is a recurring question that gets asked. Like I said, if y'all ask, if I get enough of these questions, I will do something. And this is one of those that gets asked repeatedly. So it was time to do it. Now, let's look at this, right? We've talked about playing an E chord, okay? Yeah, because we're playing F chord. We're dealing with F chord. Well, an E chord's played like this. If you've been with me, we've been doing our E7, where it's just where we just lift our third finger right off, and we play an E7. If you will, put your third finger down, once you played that E7 chord, if you'll put your finger down on the D string, 2nd fret, so, and you'll play that down right there, and play all 6 strings down. You're playing an E instead of an E7. Just a subtlety difference, but for this purpose, we're going to lock in the E chord, okay? 3rd finger, D string on the 2nd fret. Once you get your E7 chord built in there. Now, what we're going to do is you're going to flip your fingers around. It's like, what do you mean flip my fingers around? Well, E chord, same thing. Just playing it with your 2nd finger, your 3rd finger, and then your pinky, your 4th finger. And it's like, well, what does that have to do? Well, because if we play it like that and we slide up 1 fret and bar it, that's the F chord. Now in the musical scale, when we deal with E, and musical scale, the next note is what? F. And you can even sit down and look on this in a piano, and when you go up the next step on one of those black notes, when you go up the keys, your whites and your blacks, and you're just trailing up the scale. If you slide up 1 more fret, F sharp. Now, if you slide up another half step, 1 more fret, that's going to make a G chord. It's the same thing on a piano. Slide up 1 more step, half step, that's an A flat. slide up one more half step, we get to an A chord. Wait, I can play, and I'm just playing the F chord, guys, and I'm just sliding up half steps every time. It's like, wait, I can play an F chord. Here's an A down here that we learned, and I can play on the 5th fret with an F chord, and that's an A? Absolutely, it's an A chord. So you can be doing the E's, E7. Totally fine, perfect. If I go up, if I can keep my neck in screen, I'm going up really far. If I go up another half step from the 5th fret, go to the 6th fret, that's B flat. Didn't we just learn B flat down here? And I can play it all the way up there? Absolutely. One more half step, B. One more half step, C. I can play a C there. Absolutely. Half step, C sharp, half step, D. What? I could play an E, I could play a C, I could play a D, I could play an A. So I could do like an E, A, D, E, A. I can play them up the neck. I can change. Wow. And when you're on that 10th fret, I'm on the 10th fret. If I keep this in view, wow. I'm not going to worry about my right hand right now. I'm going to come up here. If I keep that on the 10th fret, I slide up half a step. That's going to be what? D sharp, D flat? Yeah. Potato, potato, however you want to call it right now. What we're doing, we haven't selected a key exactly. And then slide up another half step on the 12th fret. We get an E chord. What? Wow. And then we slide up one more half step to play on the 11th, or 12th, 13th. And we make it back to F. Right? You got those big classical finishes, right, when you do those chords? I like it more on C when you do it, but those big finishes. Everybody gets impressed with, they're just jumping octaves, okay? So going in the order of this scale, and you can follow up the piano, and it's the same thing on the guitar. Start with your E chord. E, half a step, F, half a step, F sharp, half a step, G, half a step, A flat, A, B flat, B, C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F. And all I'm doing is playing the F chord. All I'm doing is playing the F chord and sliding up half a step every time. And you can do that with any bar chord. If you know the scale, and that's easy, guys, to Google or do whatever. Right now, you can download it on my website. You can get a chart that lists out all the notes for you in the order of scales. You can download it on some of my charts. It's going to be in the scale. It's going to be on my tabs or sheet music page. It's going to be on one of those. Those are completely free. You can go to my website right now. Click the link in the comments below to go to the ebook, and you can find them in one of my tab sections. And you can download that for free if you don't know it, which is awesome. So when you do that, and you know the order of the scales, you know what you're playing. I could have a G chord, I could have an A chord, a B, a C, a D. And that works with all the bar chords. If I go back to that B flat like I talked about, and you know the order, go download the chart on my website if you don't have it. If you don't know it, B flat chord, half a step, B, half a step, C, half a step, C sharp, whoops, half a step, D chord, half a step, D sharp, half a step, E. It just, any bar chord, the B minor, C minor, C sharp minor, D minor, E flat, E, F. There's another F chord. It all works in half steps, and that's a great way to stay in touch. That's just one way of many, that the guitar relates to the piano. There are grids, and I know it's a little more harder to see them. It's not just laid out from A to Z, but if you know the system, it's super easy once you kind of learn these chords. And that's why a lot of people ask, why are bar chords so hard? Because you're not learning one chord. When you play that bar chord, that F chord, you are having to learn 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and you get the point as I run out of room over here, as high as you can go. So you're learning like 13, 15, 18 chords, depending on how many frets you have on your neck. They're all different. You're learning a handful of chords. Why am I struggling with this one chord? Because you're learning like 15 or 18 chords. So don't get discouraged. You're not learning one chord. You're learning an unlimited, insane amount of chords. So take heart with that. I'm not just learning one thing. I'm learning 15 or 18 things. So be encouraged. That's hard. You're learning it all at once. The hardest place to play them is down here on the first fret. F chord is in my opinion, one of the hardest chords. That F chord and that B flat chord are just, they're behemoths. They're insane. So that's some tips I have for y'all today. How to play those and to learn bar chords better. How there's a guitar grid. It connects very similar to the piano. In fact, in the exact same way, just playing a shape instead of a single note. And you can do even chords on that in the piano when you go up. So it works just like the piano. So bar chords are great. You're learning so many things. I hope these exercises helped you. If you have other questions, please hit me up with some questions. I will answer them and I will get back to them. Unless it was like this week when I was at the BMA meeting, all week long and then having to drive back to the other side of the world to get to Jefferson and then having to go to church. But I'll respond to you. I'll answer these questions. We'll do videos and it's going to be a great time. If you haven't already done so, go download a free copy of my ebook today, please. This isn't going to be available forever. Take advantage of it. 49 lessons. Awesome stuff. And be encouraged with these bar chords. Don't forget you can download that free order of scales if you don't know the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do that we're kind of learning right now. If you don't know that, you can download that completely for free. The tabs are on my website in the tab section. Or my tabs or sheet music. Can't remember what I titled it, but it's there in one of the main tab sections with tons of free music. Just scroll more to the bottom and you'll find it. And the same thing with the link below in the comments. And yeah, honor the Lord in all your ways, guys, and keep your eyes fixed on Him. Stay in His steps. Psalm 28:7, the Lord is my strength and my shield. My heart trusts in Him, and I am helped. So, I pray that you would keep your eyes fixed on Him, you would be encouraged, and that He would strengthen you. Even when you face hard days, keep on keeping on. The Lord is right there with you, and He will help you through anything. I promise you, no matter what it may be, big or small. Even when life gets hard, the Lord's never forsaken me, and He'll never forsake you. I can promise you. You'll face hard days. In fact, Jesus promises we face hard days, but He's always with us, and He always will be. If you don't know about Jesus, message me, email me, whatever your contact form is, and I would love to tell you about Him. And if you do not know Him, if you do know Him, I am glad. But if you don't, message me if you want to know, and I would love to tell you about Him. He's done amazing things for me, and He's not just a myth, He's not just a fable, but He is completely true, holy, and sovereign, and He changed my life completely, and I owe Him everything. Everything. Gave me a reason to live and a joy that I have never had before, and a peace that surpasses all understanding, and I would love to share that with y'all. So, I'm praying for you. You guys keep your eyes fixed on Jesus, and I am tired. It's been a long week. I am hot, and I am sweaty because we can't record with AC on because it just goes the whole time, and so I'm sweating for you, America. Joseph Allen Music here. Go check out the free copy of the ebook and tons of other great stuff on my website. Go learn, get some guitar with me, some more videos. Maybe you want to take some lessons. Hit me up in my course, and then check us out there. And we would love to have you aboard in Joseph Allen Music in the Guitar Academy. God bless, guys. If you have something, comment below what you'd like to see. As like today, I've responded to some stuff, and we will see you in the next lesson. This is week 5, and we're hitting the big end mark, week 6. It's been awesome. It's been great. You don't want to miss the last lesson. They keep piling up and getting better and better. Whether you're a beginner, intermediate, or more of an advanced player, this is the place for you. So God bless everybody, and go bless somebody today, this week, something. Pray for somebody. Go encourage somebody. Tell them why Jesus saves, huh?